There are types of pregnancy loss I've never lived through myself. That doesn't mean I don't understand the weight of them. I'm Bianca from Bianca Johnson Empowerment. I've been in the pregnancy loss space for more than 13 years. I've been pregnant 8 times, 6 of which I lost. None were a stillbirth, an ectopic, or a molar pregnancy. I want to talk about those today anyway, though. I've spent years alongside women who have. I've sat with them, listened to them, watched what those losses do that mine didn't. So today isn't my story. It's what I've learned from being in the rooms with the people who have experienced this. Stillbirth is the loss of a baby who dies in the womb, usually after 20 weeks or during labor and birth. These are often parents who have everything ready: the nursery, the car seat, they've got the names picked out. Often they've had a baby shower already. Everybody knows that they're pregnant. Many of them walk out of hospital without their baby and go home to a house already set up to welcome one. Some have to pack all of it away before they've even had a chance to grieve. The heartbreak is devastating. And I know of more than one couple where it was the thing that broke their relationship. One of the hardest parts of stillbirth is how unexpected it often is. An ectopic pregnancy is when the fertilized egg implants outside of the uterus. It's almost always in the fallopian tubes, but it can be elsewhere in the body. It's an incredibly rare procedure for the baby to survive and can cause major medical complications for the parent as well. These are almost always treated as medical emergencies because they're life-threatening to the parent. My mother experienced 2 ectopic pregnancies when I was a child, one between my sister and I, and one shortly after my sister. I don't remember much about it. I was quite young. But she was rarely given the space to grieve those pregnancies. And it was something she very seldom spoke about until I was further along in my pregnancy story. When a pregnancy loss is also a medical emergency, the grief often gets left behind entirely. The patient's life gets saved, and then everyone moves on, including the parent themselves, because they weren't given a chance to stop. Ectopic pregnancies are often handled as medical emergencies and not as pregnancy losses. The grief is never allowed a space because the parent survived and they were well taken care of and the life was saved. And very often the life that was lost is not acknowledged. And I want to make sure that that is never the case. If you've experienced any sort of pregnancy loss, to me, that's the ending of a pregnancy after you saw those 2 lines. Your grief is important. A molar pregnancy is a genetic error at fertilization. An abnormal growth forms inside of a healthy pregnancy or placenta. It can't develop into a baby. Again, it's also often treated purely as a medical emergency, much like an ectopic. The complication of the molar pregnancy is that it can affect a person's ability to carry future pregnancies, which adds another layer of grief on top of the loss itself. It can be ongoing. It can result in multiple medical surgeries and treatments, and I have not had direct experience supporting someone through a molar pregnancy, but I do know that it can be incredibly devastating to anyone who is hoping to have children. All 3 of these come with a complication that the more common types of loss don't carry in the same way. They're medical emergencies first and losses second in how they're treated. But for the parent who's living through this, that's backwards because it was a pregnancy loss first for them and the medical emergency was a consequence or a symptom rather than the actual situation. This was your loss. You don't need anyone's permission to grieve it, least of all mine, since I haven't lived it myself. And if you're the one watching someone else go through this, you don't need to have lived it either to show up for them properly. If this is the first time someone's told you that your grief is valid, even if your life was saved, subscribe. There's a whole series on this. No matter how the pregnancy was lost, it still matters. Your grief still matters. Tell me in the comments if you've had a stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy, or molar pregnancy. Was your grief treated as real or treated as an afterthought to the medical emergency? If you know someone who's walking through one of these and felt like the emergency mattered more than the loss, send this to them. And if you're looking to work through your own feelings about your pregnancy loss, you can sign up for my free Finding Yourself Again After Pregnancy Loss series. It's 5 days of emails and videos that give you tools to find your way back to yourself. I'm Bianca Johnson, and I'm here to empower you to navigate, transform, and thrive on life's journey, no matter what that looks like.